Forget nearly everything you've heard about creating self-esteem and confidence. Keep watching. This is Life Mastery Gym. I'm Damon Cart, and I teach people just like you cutting-edge NLP processes and techniques so that you can take charge of your life and master your destiny. So if that sounds good, please click subscribe to this YouTube channel so you can get these videos on a regular basis. Most people go about building self-esteem and self-confidence all wrong. So by the end of this video, you are going to have a much better understanding of how to build true self-esteem and true lasting confidence. What I'm going to share with you is what I've shared with hundreds of clients over the years that has worked extraordinarily well, and also what I've used for myself, what I've used to build greater self-esteem and self-confidence. And also you want to make sure that you stay tuned to the end of this video, because I'm going to show you a way that you can get some free information about how to take this even further. Now, before I get into this, I'm curious about you. Do you feel like you lack self-esteem, or that you would like more confidence in some area of your life? If so, let me know about that in the comments below. I will respond to you. So the wrong way to go about building self-esteem and confidence, I think the way that most people go about this, which usually creates more problems than it solves, and that is to use affirmations. This idea that I can just tell myself that I am something when I am not, or that I'm good at something when I'm actually not. And there's also this idea of fake it till you make it, which affirmations are very close to that. There's this idea, if I put on the right clothes, if I act a certain way, then I will become that. Well, most of the time that's not true. I'll give you an example. I went to an art opening, or an art gallery. There was this major art opening from an artist that you probably have heard of, and this is just a hint. There's some of his art behind me. I'm not going to say who he is, but anyway, I was in Los Angeles, and I got to go to this art opening, and there were lots of people there, and there was media there, and it was a big deal. And I didn't see the artist right when I walked into the opening. There was so many people there. And what I noticed is that I didn't really fit into this crowd. I was dressed rather plainly. And these people they looked like artists. They had the clothing that was very, very unconventional. It wasn't just nice clothes. It was very, very unconventional looking clothes. Like they had really taken the time to probably even make the clothes for some of these people. And then their hair was done in kind of crazy ways. And some of the men were even wearing makeup, like kind of wild makeup. It almost looked like it was this close to looking like a costume party. These people were really done up. So I felt like I was a little out of place here. And then finally, I saw the artist. He was being interviewed on camera. His clothing resembled more like mine. He had a baseball cap and he had a t-shirt, and that's basically all he was wearing. And I looked at this, and I looked at all of these people, and the juxtaposition of this was amazing. Now, I drew a conclusion here, and I don't know if I'm completely right about this, but I have seen this in other areas, in other ways. I could give lots of examples, but I think my conclusion will give you the meaning that I'm wanting to get at here. What I concluded was that this artist, who was very well known, very successful, put his art into his art. He didn't put his efforts and his energy into looking like an artist, because he didn't need to. He was an artist. And why was he an artist? Because he probably spent the greater part of all of his time making art. Whereas all of these other people, we could call them posers, were putting all of their energy and effort in looking the part and looking like an artist, rather than actually creating the art. I saw this in many areas. I went to film school, and I lived in LA, and I tried to break into the film industry, and you would see this all the time, from screenwriters to actors to filmmakers, directors, producers, whatever. There were so many people invested in looking and acting the part. But of course, these weren't the people who were actually working in these fields. These are the people who were trying to get into these fields. So my point is here If you're trying to fake it till you make it, if you're trying to act the part and look the part, if you're standing in front of a mirror and repeating affirmations over and over about things that actually are not true, like saying that you're rich when you're really not rich, these have an adverse effect on you. There is a part of your unconscious that has to reconcile fact from fiction, truth from fantasy. And in doing so, it creates an inner conflict. And so not only are you putting a lot of effort and energy into these other pursuits, which aren't really getting you where you want to go, now you're creating an internal conflict, which takes even more of your energy and distracts you even further. Instead of acting, do more. It's the doing that gives you the self-esteem and the confidence. When the more you do something, the more confidence you will have about it. Now, most of the time, when I get clients who come to me, really what they're asking me to do from the beginning until I tell them it's not possible, or even if I could, I wouldn't. What they want me to do is they want me to install confidence into them before they even do whatever it is that they want to go after. If they're in business or they want to be in business, they want to feel confident about business even before they own a business. If they want to do sales, they want to feel confident about sales even before they do a sale. And what I have to let them know is, no, that's not good. It's not good to be confident about doing surgery when you haven't when you haven't gone to med school. Like, this is not going to help you, and certainly you could hurt other people in the process. What you can be confident about is who you are. You can be confident that you can fail at something, that you can start off not knowing and not being confident about a particular task or skill, and you can just be confident that that's where you're at. Like, that's okay. That it's okay to just be who you are. And in some cases, you won't know what to do. You won't be good at something because you've never done it before. And there's a certain amount of confidence and self-esteem that goes with that when you're just willing to accept that you're a beginner, when you're willing to accept that you don't know much about something, but you're going to try and you're going to learn. And in that learning, you're going to fail. That's a natural part of it. You can have confidence in that because that will happen. You can have, in a sense, confidence in failure because failure is inevitable if you're going to succeed at anything. Now, the main thing about self-esteem is to understand really what's important to you. What is it you value and truly, truly value, your core values? So that could be things like achievement, success. It could be other things like kindness. It could be joy and happiness and fun. And if these things are important to you, when you act in alignment with these values, your confidence will automatically go up. So achievement includes failure. So success and failure are part of achievement. And in achieving something, if you're not failing part of the time, then how great is that achievement? It's not going to be that great. If you have never failed, you've never really achieved. So when you take achievement, something you value, which is achieving, and you build into it that failure is a part of this, then you can fail as much as you want. And every time you fail, you're still in alignment with that value of achievement, which will make your confidence go up, which will make your self-esteem go up. So that's the beauty of being very clear about your values. When you're clear about your values, whatever's happening in the process of fulfilling those values, like setbacks and things that are unexpected, curveballs, those are all fine. You'll get through them because you're connected to the value. And when you're acting in alignment with that value, that feels good along the way. If you're not achieving the goals, it doesn't really matter. If you're connected to that value and you're moving toward it and you're behaving in alignment with it, your self-esteem is going to go up, your confidence is going to go up, and sooner or later, you're going to achieve your goals. And when you're not achieving your goals, it's okay because you're still in alignment with that value. True self-esteem is acting in alignment with your values. Regardless if you're succeeding, regardless if you're hitting all those goals, you can feel good about yourself just because you're acting in alignment with what it is you value. And then the confidence comes. Think about driving. When you first drove a car, you were not confident about it. You were in the beginner mind. You knew that you had things to learn and that you weren't going to do it perfectly, and you accepted that. And you just started doing it. And then after a while, you gained all that skill and that knowledge because you got more and more information about what it means to drive. You brought in the visual information, seeing around you what it is you had to do. You brought in the kinesthetic part by holding a steering wheel, by pressing a brake. And after a while of collecting all of this information, you become very confident about driving. The same thing with walking. It just happens. And it's beautiful to watch a child walk because they don't have much of a sense of failure. Sure, sometimes they do get upset when they fall down because they're trying to get from one place to the next, but they never stop. They just keep getting up and walking. And the more they walk, what happens? The more confident they become about walking. This never ends. It goes through every area of your life. It works the same way. The problem is that so many of us stop trying. So many of us become allergic, so to speak, to not having the confidence already there when they attempt something. And it's really sad because so many of us, we stop putting ourselves out there. We stop fulfilling our potential. We stop reaching for our potential. We stop pushing ourselves and stretching ourselves because the feeling of not having confidence is so unsettling and so unpleasant that we'd rather just stick to what we already know and what we're already confident about. And that's not going to fulfill you. That's not going to raise your self-esteem. So keep pushing, keep moving in the direction of what you value, what's important to you, and know that the confidence will show up when you need it. The confidence comes when you're able to gather a lot of that information, and you always keep yourself on your toes by pushing beyond your confidence, knowing that at some point you will finally become confident about whatever that is. Whatever you're not confident about now, you can become confident about it, but it will take actual experience. It will take real action to do that. It's never going to come just by trying to hypnotize yourself into believing something that you know is not true or repeating words over and over again. Those things just don't work. So think about self-esteem and confidence coming with action and experience. And that's the authentic way. And when you build self-esteem and confidence with action and experience, you will have a solid foundation that will be unshakable. Okay, so now you have a much greater understanding of what creates self-esteem and confidence, but what you don't know is what creates a strong and solid self-concept, which is directly related to having greater confidence and greater self-esteem. So what I've done is I've created a PDF, a free PDF, that basically gives you the elements of a healthy self-concept. This is absolutely imperative. This is absolutely so important to understand in creating greater self-esteem and greater confidence. So to get that free PDF, you'll find a link right down here in the description. Just click that link and you'll get immediate access to it. I'll also put a link in the comments right down below. I'll pin it to the top so you can find it easily. Just click on that link and you will get a free copy, a free PDF on the elements of a healthy self-concept. So now that you know how to build true, authentic self-esteem and confidence, what are you gonna do now? Let me know in the comments below. I will respond to you. Make sure you click that like button if you like this video, and if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button while you're down there. Also get your free PDF as well when you're down there. And if you can think of a friend or just anyone you know who would benefit from watching this video, make sure you share it with them. Take care.